So, like most of us, I was very eager to update my wife's iPhone to the latest 9.3.2 and just dumbfounded why it would take. Before, my estimate was 3 hours, and it's still 41 minutes remaining. And this is using Apple's own CDN. So, here's what I found. If I simply use the old CDN for the download instead from Akamai, which is that one, as opposed to the new one that they use, which is their own, then my download speed speeds up quite dramatically. So here's what I'm going to show you. So as you can see, the estimate is still at over 43 minutes remaining. Let's just cancel this. Okay, so it's stopped now. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to turn on this Apple Akamai authoritative list. So what I've basically done here is I've created an Apple Akamai entry here so that this entry here, the Apple download at apple.com.akdns.net, resolves to my local ISP's Akamai farm. Okay, and so let me just verify that this has taken effect. So we're just going to quickly take a look at that. And sure enough, it is resolving now to my ISP. So let me just go ahead and restart this download. And now let's take a look at how fast it is. So I've gone from 40 minutes down to 12 minutes because at this point it is not going over to the internet service provider's network all the way to Chicago. It is literally just going within the city. And if I were to do another little test for you here, if we were to do a trace route right now to this destination, helps if I spell it right, you'll notice that it literally is going to stay within the city of London. Got to be patient with these hops along the way that are slow to respond. So there you go. This is actually an Akamai farm right at my internet service provider's network operations center. Whereas going to one of these, which is Apple's own, we're going to be heading all the way over to Chicago. So not only will we traverse a great big long backbone through many interconnects, but then the fastest my download happens is over the weakest link between here and Chicago. And there you go. So look at 9 hops there as opposed to 6 hops. But most significantly, those 9 hops are at a much greater distance geographically. And as you can see here, my download is still continuing at a very, very quick pace. And just to show you what would happen if I were to back out again, let me just go ahead and stop that Apple Akamai. Let me turn that off again. And once I've turned that off, let's just do a lookup here. We're just waiting for that DNS resolution cache to expire again so that it will go back out to Chicago, and then we'll start it again. There we go. That's back to Chicago. And let me try and update my wife's iPhone again. Update. Okay, and of course I have to enter the PIN again. Continue. All right, let's wait for the Chicago download to happen again. And here we go. 2 hours now. 3 hours. 2 hours. And let's switch it back one more time. I'm going to once again turn my Akamai DNS settings on, and we'll give it up to 60 seconds. That's about how long it takes at the most for my router's cache to expire to give me the new address. Okay, and we're back to this being our internet service provider's Akamai farm. And so I'm going to just reinitiate this download here. And once again, you see the download is super fast. Instead of being 2 to 3 hours, it's going to be 9 minutes. So what's the difference between the two? Quite simply, it's whether or not you use Akamai as a CDN or a content delivery network versus using Apple. And as I understand it, it might be a business decision on Apple's part because there's no small cost to having Akamai do the content delivery for them. And so about 3 years ago, Apple started delivering their own content, or at least started to build their own content delivery network. Unfortunately, it's at the cost of us having to be inconvenienced. I know. We're a first world problem, isn't it? Thanks for watching.